host. Hello and good morning. I'm your host of the show, Kelly Walker Slaughter of Warren First 931. Good morning, Warren County. And with that said, we are live at MudBums Family Sports Grill. And I did actually lose my voice a little bit over the weekend, as I think most people did, because Melody can contest to it because she actually got to go to the game as well. Even though it was not a win, the support of the pioneers. I want to say hashtag pioneer strong now.
Right.
I
Well,
feel
I mean,
like,
that's kind of where we are.
yeah,
Um,
but talk
it was
about
a
it. I
tough
mean,
game. God.
we starting with the pioneer rally, the parade, to the pep rally, to the game itself. I mean, it was a huge turnout
It was a long
at the
week. It was a long
parade.
day. It was a long day on
Yes,
Friday.
it
But
was.
no, we started with the parade on downtown, which was just incredible. The floats were so amazing, and the senior float was confusing to me at first because I was like, "What's
Right.
going on with the tornado?" But then when I got to see it up close, and I actually looked at my pictures I took that day,
Yeah,
it was really incredible. Once
it
you got it up,
was.
you could see like the whole tornado was like made out of like the hawk feathers. There was like a shoe in there.
Hmm.
There was like there was like a chicken foot or a hawk foot in there. I mean,
Yeah,
it was insane.
it was.
And it was really good. And I gotta tell you, seeing the floats downtown, look, y'all, I'm not a sports person. I don't do sports,
She
y'all.
don't know nothing about football.
I don't know nothing about none of them sports. I know we want to get the ball somewhere and
Mhm.
we want to wear tight fitting clothes and go yay team. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but uh I went to the game for the first time Friday night, and to see the floats at nighttime when all the pyrotechnics is going on, I thought that junior float was going to catch on fire because
right?
somebody actually posted a picture from the stands, and you could see me going because the bird they had a pterodactyl that was flying over the mountain, and
Mhm.
then the mountain was shooting fire, and it
Yeah,
was going through the fire, and
yeah.
I was just waiting for the junior float to just completely
Same,
catch on
same.
fire.
Either that or the car that's getting chased by the T-Rex. It was like
Yeah,
the whole
it
thing.
was a thing. They did incredible. Deserve to win. This is the third
3rd year
year
in a row.
that grade level has won. They won their freshman year, they won their sophomore
Sophomore
year,
year.
won their junior year.
And
Well
I wanna
deserved.
say it was a well-deserved win for
Oh
that junior
yes.
class. Each year, I wanna speak of as for you guys amaze me
Oh,
every year, and
absolutely.
I wanna say to the junior class that will be the next senior class,
Ugh.
go big or go home.
Right?
I'm
Just
just
knock it
saying.
out of the ballpark next year
Yes.
because y'all got a lot on the line now.
And I do
I
wanna
don't know if we've
say,
ever had a class that's done that before, that's
no,
won all
this will
4
be I feel
years.
like if they do
That's a
it
lot
for
of
the 4th
pressure.
year in a row, they should get an award.
Yeah, or a prize or a trip to
Something.
Disneyland. No, maybe
Something.
not that
But
big.
I will say thanks to everybody for doing our poll question. And,
Yes,
I know we are not the officials of the
we're not.
voting, but if it was voted on the Warren first page, first place would have gone to the juniors.
Mhm.
Second place would have gone to the sophomores.
Okay, and second place went to seniors.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, I can't remember third and fourth.
The official, I'm gonna say this is the unofficial tally on our end,
Yeah,
but first was the juniors, second was the sophomores, third place was the freshmen, and then fourth place, just by 1% on the voting, was the seniors.
yeah.
And thanks for everybody that posted it and, the comments we got. Um,
It was
Again,
awesome.
it was all the floats were great in their own little way, I will say.
Yeah.
But my most impressive one goes out to the juniors. And I will say this, the juniors and sophomores, woo, with the ship.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh
ship was
my
incredible.
gosh. Kudos to you
And I love the
guys.
shirts,
Yeah.
and
Every
it just
team had a
everything was
shirt.
good. Yeah, yeah, and it was something yo ho ho. I can't remember,
I
but
can't remember theirs, but I
I'm
do
gonna be
remember the
posting pictures
juniors.
later, and then we'll
Yeah.
all see. Because I'm just now getting pictures posted. I actually just no, I just did the parade.
Yeah.
So if you go on to Melody Crim Photography, you can see the pictures from the parade. If you had kids in the parade,
Yeah.
check
We
it out.
can't post
Pictures,
every picture she took because if we did,
it's a lot.
yeah. So
Y'all,
with that
by
said,
the end of the night,
yeah.
between the parade, the pep rally, and all the pictures I took at homecoming, I uploaded over 4,000 pictures onto my
And do
computer
you
to go
see the
through.
sunburned coat on her face?
This was from Autumn Street Fair. We'll talk about that in a
We'll talk
minute.
about that in a minute. But
But
yeah,
no,
talk about
it was such a
it
great night. Okay,
was.
I'm
Talk about
sorry.
it.
I should probably go to football games more, but I didn't.
I think
Um,
we have like thank
we
you
had
by the way to Coach Turner for allowing us to
thank you.
come.
I'm gonna come
I
again.
love
That
you,
was so
Matt,
much fun.
my brother
Um,
from another mother.
and my fellow photographers were very kind and welcoming. And taught
Oh,
me the
look.
boundaries.
There you go.
Yes,
Blood,
yes,
sweat, and
yes.
tears. It will
It
be
was.
fun watching those two
And they
teams.
were so good. I mean, that student section was wild that night,
Yeah.
and I got a couple of great pictures. The band was incredible. I did not realize. Okay, again, I was not a popular kid in school, and I didn't grow up here, but I did date a band player, and I went to a couple of his high
Mhm.
school football games. And I got to tell you, our band carries that football game. It's insane. I had
We
no
have an
idea.
amazing marching
They're
band.
playing the music for the cheer and the dance teams
Mhm.
to dance to. They're playing the music based on plays. They're playing
Mhm.
all this different music,
Mhm.
modern stuff, classic
Yeah.
stuff. And that was another thing. When I was in high school, it was mainly like Elephant Walk and Henry Mancini. It was none of this
Yeah.
modern music. It's incredible.
Farnham is a blessing to the Warren County School
He really
band
is, and that band, I
and
mean,
the
they
team
can
he
get the
has
love
too.
they deserve,
Yeah.
and the ROTC kids did a great job.
Yes.
First Sergeant Howard's
Shout
amazing.
out.
Hey,
He did
definitely
have
don't
a
go look at the
stall in
picture.
his little Jeep.
He was so
Loved
cute,
it.
y'all. Y'all had to see this. He was like in a little Power Wheel
Yeah,
driving through that
that
parade.
wasn't it looked like a Power Wheel with him in it, but
It did.
we have the same thing at our
Oh,
house.
see, it's precious.
Mhm.
But I got some great pictures of that.
But
But
yeah,
no,
the
it was a great game, and Zach Sutton was down there mending people. There was one injury.
okay.
Connor that I know of. I left at halftime because I had to go set up for Autumn Street Fair. But Connor Williams, Wes and Kirby Williams' son, did get his second concussion in a month and ended up in the
Oh,
hospital. But talked to Kirby last night.
prayers
She
for
says
him.
he's doing really well. He's feeling better.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get him back in the next
Okay.
game. I did not see any injuries that while I was there, but I did see frustration, and my heart broke for those boys. I mean, you could see it. I snapped a picture of
They're
a kid I
wanting wins
know.
so bad, and I pray before the season ends
I
they get
know.
something.
I know.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
because
I'm gonna
they're
tell you right
working
now,
really hard.
their heart and soul, it's in it. I snapped a picture of my Kanan, Kanan Curtis number 84. Sorry, I'm getting my numbers mixed up.
It's all right.
Um, I did not know how many kids I knew on the football team, but anyway, but Kanan, I got his picture of him earlier, which he may not be happy that I took.
Yeah.
But you could just when you look in his eyes, you could see not only the frustration and the upset, but also just the sheer determination that he was
That he
gonna get
still
it.
has after all that
Yeah.
grit.
I mean, he takes this seriously. He's been playing football since before I knew him. I mean, he was itty bitty. I mean, this he eats, sleeps, and breathes this game, and he takes it very seriously. And to see him just get so upset, so
Mhm.
frustrated, just triggered the mama bear in me. I was like, I want you to win.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a
But
great game,
overall,
and
it was a great
it was a good turnout,
yeah.
and yeah, they lost again, but I think they're getting
But what
better.
did
I don't know.
they haven't really when we say the word lost, they have lost a game, but they haven't lost their spirit.
And that's the
Let me
important
say
thing.
that.
Yes.
The important thing is they're not losing they're
They're
losing the game, but they're not losing their integrity, they're not losing their spirit, their oomph.
Yeah.
They're
That's
just
one
like,
thing I've
you
always
know,
taught my kids. I'm like, "You didn't lose, you didn't fail. You learned another way not to do that.
mhm.
If you continue to do it that way, then that becomes a loss and a failure, but as long as you learn from the mistake and you grow and you do better next time, you're not losing and you're not failing."
I agree.
And I think that that's where it is with our football is that they're learning all the ways not to do it, and then they're gonna take all of that knowledge and
Yep,
they're gonna come back stronger than they were.
I
And
agree.
I think that that's where we are with that. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good turnout. Everybody was still in their parade gear
Yeah.
in the student section, and
It was just a good time.
it was a great time. I
Yeah.
hate you weren't there,
I know.
but it's
I
okay.
was at the WWE
She was
wrestling
wrestling.
match in Nashville with my family. Thanks, brother, for those tickets. I will say this: the World Wrestling Federation, as I knew it, WWF, that now is WWE.
Yeah,
They know how to put on a show.
they do. I just watched
Mm-hmm.
that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a wrestling phase years ago. And watching that documentary, I realized the wrestling I was watching was Ted Turner's wrestling, not
Yes.
the pervert. What's his name?
Are you talking about
Vince McMahon's wrestling.
McMahon?
Mr.
I think it was.
McMahon.
I think it was not just a pervert thing. It was more like a narcissist thing.
Oh, well, no,
Is
if
a
you
better way of
hear the
saying that.
charges against him,
I know I have.
oh my gosh,
I have.
dude, go talk to somebody. Maybe
Yeah, you
God.
got
Maybe you just need to
problems.
talk to God.
Yeah.
But
That's
also,
true.
David and I were talking about that, and I think that when you get that much fame and that much power, you start to lose your moral compass. And
I agree.
I can't wait till that list is released. I think a bunch of celebrities about to get out
If
of it.
any, not to talk too much about it, but if you have smart television, Tubi has a documentary where the TMZ guy that was a lawyer and now he's the reporter,
Yeah, Levenstein or what?
Harvey,
Yeah,
his name's
yes, Harvey
Harvey. They
Levenstein or
call him,
whatever.
yeah. And he put a thing together with Diddy's lawyer and everybody, like, I mean, a ton of people about talking about the indictment. And
Wow.
it
Okay,
would
I
I
have to go
watched it
check
last
that.
night. It was about 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes long. Very good, very well put together,
Mm.
very neutral. Now, I'll say this, very neutral minded. Like he's asking the right questions, like what a lawyer would do, what to expect when the trial happens. And I'm like, that's well said. Because
Yeah.
until the guy, I'll say this,
And
whether you
until
read the
proven guilty.
indictment or not,
Yeah.
until somebody is proven guilty, we cannot judge somebody right off the bat.
No,
It's
we
really
can't.
hard, and I know
But it
that.
is hard because I also know the criminal records that has trailed him, all of
Yeah.
the legal troubles that have trailed him.
I will say there
Uh,
was one interview he did back, and I can't don't count me on the year. It was 2018 or 2019, the shooting incident, or maybe it was 1990 something.
No, it was
Any
early 2000s. I thought
was
it was
it?
when
I
he was
can't remember.
dating
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
I knew
Thank you.
I knew what that meant.
Seeing charades this morning.
But with that said,
Um,
they had the victim that survived that got shot in the face,
yeah.
and she goes, Diddy was close to me, and then the guy named Shine was on the far opposite side. She's like, "He did shoot me." Even though he's made that statement, "I did not I pulled my gun out, didn't shoot." That was a li she's like, "He
So
lied."
Shine's the one who shot him? Or did he? Diddy's the one.
Diddy's the one that shot
Oh,
her, not
see.
Shine, but Shine, which was the young artist at the rapper at the time, took the heat for all of it.
Well, he was the less known. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't wanna, disrupt that illusion, but
But that's the truth, and Diddy
yeah.
had a lot of power, and like that's why I'm
Yep.
saying when you have all that power, people do lose their moral compass,
They do,
unfortunately.
they do. They start thinking they're invincible and they're not touchable, and then
Yeah.
then they start touching
And
things they
that's when you gotta
shouldn't.
get together, guys, and, just like we've helped out with Hurricane Helene in this situation with the
Yeah,
disaster relief, we have to pray for these people. We have to pray for the victims, you need to
yeah,
pray for the shooter, you need to pray for the families involved, the people involved, the businesses are involved, depending on what the situation is. The best thing to do is pray about it and hope for the best at the end.
yeah,
But it's like the girl said, with, going capitalizing on this, when you get a lot of power, karma, she talked about it when it's your time to come, it does.
yeah. I
And,
mean, that's why I don't get mad when people wrong
Mhm.
me. That's why I don't get upset. That's why I don't seek
Yeah,
revenge, because I know karma's
yep,
coming eventually, and if I'm lucky, I'll get to watch. It'll all come out in the wash.
it
You just
will.
have to be patient.
But with that
Um,
said, anything else? Because I'm gonna have her back on. I did see Brett coming through.
Brett went through. Do you want to talk about
Yeah, I would
Autumn
talk
Street
to him.
there?
Oh,
Or we'll do that next
we'll
round.
do that next
We'll be
round.
back for that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but go grab Brett for me if
I
you
don't know
don't
what a
care.
Brett looks like.
Just
I'll just follow Brett.
just say Brett. Because the reason we're all here live at MudBums Family Sports Grill is because I saw Brett a couple of Saturdays ago, actually at the Sip and Savor when it was at the tail end, and he was like, "Hey, can we do this?" I'm like, "Well, yes, we can." So come on, Brett. Oh, got you. Okay. Because I wanted my whole thing about this show is to showcase all the businesses here in Warren County, not just the downtown businesses on Main Street, but also the ones at Northgate, all of them. He's coming now. You got to get up. Go. Walker will come on in a minute too. Come on, Brett. It's your turn. Everybody's waiting on you. So with that said, of course, we are here live at MudBums Family Sports Grill, and here is the owner, the operator.
It's me.
It's Brett. It's me.
Yeah.
With that said, I was telling everybody, I saw you a couple of Saturdays ago, and one thing about my, podcast and Warren First is to showcase all the local businesses here in town. And I want to say you're like the first,
Yeah.
really, other than downtown, because we showcase downtown McMinnville a lot, and because of all the renovations and the restorations. But there's more to McMinnville than just the downtown businesses.
It's a big city, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
several of us out here.
over 40,000 population,
Yeah.
I think, if I'm right on that.
And there's several decent restaurants in town that aren't downtown. We got
Yeah.
us, Gondola, several Mexican restaurants.
Oh, yes.
So yeah,
We
I
don't
think
need any
everybody should
more.
branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that said, talk about when you first purchased this. How long have you owned MudBums now? You bought it from Charlie and Donna.
Mm-hmm.
Love you guys. I seen her the
Yeah.
other day.
Well, they got another business too. So they got Turner's Autos
Auto. Mhm.
downtown. So
Right
they're doing pretty
by
good. I know that
Hardee's, I
runs
believe.
in Charlie's family, runs in
Yeah.
his blood. So
Yeah.
he enjoys that, and I'm happy for them that they got out and found something that they really enjoy. As far as long I've been here for 6 years now.
Yeah.
At one time, it feels like it's not been 6 years, but
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like it's been 20 years. So
Right.
it just is what it is. The restaurant industry is not. It's not easy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Because, one thing about the restaurant business is catering to the community and
Yeah.
being, and I mean, is that one reason you like decided to do this?
I decided to do it so it didn't go out of business. To be honest with you, yeah, they were looking to move on and get into the car industry, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I agree.
It's been fun.
I know. And speaking of all the fun stuff, talk about, I mean, there is a ton of stuff y'all do here on a weekly basis.
Oh yeah, we try to do
Poker night,
something. Yeah,
bands,
a little bit
cornhole.
of everything.
What else do you do?
Well, that's about encapsulates all of it. But
Did I get it all?
yeah, we got cornhole
I keep
tonight.
seeing
Tonight's Monday,
okay, yeah.
so we got
So
that at 7.
at 7, so it's
Yeah,
cornhole every Monday night?
every Monday at 7, and you don't have to bring a partner. You come by yourself, and we
Okay.
do a blind draw tournament. So there's no telling who you're going to end up with. If you do bring a buddy and you think y'all are going to be on teams, you're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, just individuals show up and play.
And then when is poker night?
Poker night's on Wednesday, and we do 2 separate games. Obviously, it's free before Jackie comes and talks to me, or Chris and
Correct.
comes up here and tries to shut me down. But no, it's free poker.
Yeah.
You play for a
She's
$20
playing
gift
cards,
card. Yeah. We play Texas Hold'em. The game takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so it's not too bad.
Too
You're not gonna
terrible.
be here all night. You can be here all night if you want to, but
Yeah.
because we play 2 games, one at 6 and one at 8.
Okay. And then as far as the bands go, I still see the stages there. Are y'all gonna is there a time when you take a break from the bands?
We're slowing down on the bands right now.
Okay.
Obviously, with football season, we get a big draw for football games. So basically, we try to have bands on Saturdays. Tennessee doesn't play
Okay.
right now, but we're bringing back songwriter night every other Tuesday night.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to come in and sing their song or just play guitar or whatever, they can come in and do that every other Tuesday.
Fine. And then, of course, I know that this is nothing new, but you have it's maybe been a year or two in with the meet and threes. That's new. Talk about it.
Well, we save that every day, or not every day, but Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. Today is meatloaf and chicken tenders.
Okay.
And then I think as the sides, we got mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, white beans,
all the good stuff,
fried okra, and crowder peas today.
Okay.
So, and if I miss something, one of the people in the kitchen will kill me, but
it's okay. There's food. It's good food, you guys. And I always say this before you go anywhere, you always should shop local first, eat local, shop local. And then, with the holidays coming around, I can start actually mentioning this now. You like you say, do you have gift cards that
we do.
people can buy? Like,
and it's kind of scary that it's already Christmas time. It's a little wild.
I'm trying not to forget there's
again.
Halloween and Thanksgiving. Don't let me forget that. But
and for Thanksgiving, if you don't want to cook your own turkey, we smoke turkeys.
Do you?
Yeah, we do smoked turkeys and deep fried turkeys for anybody that wants to do that.
So when does that order need to be turned in, Brett? Is there like a
I
cutoff?
was gonna say the first thing we need to do is we got to get with our suppliers and get a final price on it because
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's noticed.
So be watching.
Yeah, the way that prices are these days, it could change from today to tomorrow. So give us about probably till the end of October, we'll lock in a price and
Lock
we'll
it
start
in.
marketing it. Yeah.
And then we could come back out and talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I can't.
Y'all
I
should
think.
come the day we smoke them.
Ooh, I've been there when they smoke them, and again, it's like it's a science project,
Oh,
right? Because I see the gloves are on,
yeah.
the hazmat suits. I've seen people wear. Well, I call them hazmat suits, but they're not. And they carefully like put the turkey
Oh
in
yeah.
like.
It's the least amount of work you'll ever do, and it feels like it's a job at the same time.
Oh, I know,
All
right?
you do is throw it on the smoker, but then you got to keep the fire at almost an exact temperature all day, and
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I love it. And then while we're talking about that, you also can cater, right?
We do catering. If your company has a big event, or if you're just a family get together, just give us a shout, and we can do just about
Or
anything.
football night you want to
Oh
do at
yeah,
your house, right? With the wings.
yeah.
Talk
We
about
sell a bunch
your
of wings.
Everybody talks about their wings now. I'm not a big wing eater because of the spices and stuff,
Oh
so
yeah,
I always have to be the basic
yeah.
wing person. But talk about all the different styles of wings that you do and the sauces that you have.
Oh man, this could take a while. You
That's
got all
fine.
day. Yeah. So,
This used to be Baskin Robbins with 31 flavors.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's talk about the wings.
Well, to start with, our most popular is just the traditional fried wing, and
Yeah.
that's basically your buffalo wing. But with that, like you said, you don't like spices. We got 8 or 9 different flavors. The garlic parmesan's not spicy at all.
That's actually good. I
Yeah,
tried that one.
and then sweet
I forgot
chili.
about that one.
Everybody thinks it's gonna be hot because it's chili, but it's really just sweet. We sell a bunch of that's really our third best seller between hot and mild.
Yeah.
Then we got like sweet barbecue, hot barbecue, Nashville hot, Caribbean jerk. Now, if you like something hot, Caribbean jerk's got like a nice flavor to it.
Yeah.
You'll eat 3 or 4 and you'll be like, this isn't hot at all.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're like sweating, you having to go to the bathroom and towel off. It's like, ooh, where'd that come
Yeah.
from?
We should have a contest here, not a wing eating, but
Yeah.
like the questions and how you get hotter and hotter. What's
Oh,
that
yeah.
show? Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Oh my! So they have it's the celebrity and the host, and they have like these wings, and it just keeps getting hotter and hotter.
Until somebody taps out.
Yeah, till they can't, and they have to answer the question while they're eating it.
Well, if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna have to nominate my partner and manager Miguel
Okay.
to actually eat the wing because I'm not doing the hot.
See who can tap out the last.
Yeah.
Oh. I think that was Ariana Grande because nothing hurt her tongue. She's the only one that could eat all the wings.
I'll leave that joke alone, but
It's news. No. But with that said, I want to say thanks for letting me come out today. And if there's any, when I saw Brad, I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll come and do a live
this
thing
is
at your.
fun. I think everybody should do it.
Yes. So again, if you need to get into contact with me, you can always call me at 931-305.
Not to step on Tops' toes, but
No, they're just again. I have to shout out to them
Yeah.
because Tops. I've been friends with them as long as I've been
they're
friends
great
with
people.
you.
Yeah.
Matt and Anna was a huge supporter of me starting this, and so I was like, I need a permanent residency somewhere. I don't have a brick and mortar.
And they're big on supporting local. I mean, I
They
remember
do.
that it was like 8-10 years ago when I was playing softball. They actually
That's
sponsored our
correct.
softball team.
That's
So,
correct.
yeah, they're good people.
So, but if you are a local business in town and want me to stop in your place, just like with Brett, you just got to give me a call at 931-305-0869. Or if you see me in town, just say, hey, Kelly, because that's how that happened.
That's how this happened.
Yeah. But with that said, is there anything I haven't tapped on yet with you?
I think there's one thing, and we're in the works with it. We're partnering with Silent Creed for the next, I think it's October 26th.
Okay.
We're working on setting up like a bike show, all day concert, kind of hurricane relief.
Like a big thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to do like 3 or 4 bands during the day and have a bike show and like a fish fry and donate the proceeds to the hurricane relief.
And I also know that I can, give you a little shout out. Like Brett is also a huge supporter of this community, and if anything has ever been needed, or and then if he can supply it, he's done it.
We try.
They try really good.
Yeah.
Like coming up, I called them, and I don't care to tell you. Coming up in October, the McMinnville County and City Police Department are having this bike. I don't know what Mark Marr is going to kill me for saying it wrong, but their bike like safety educational class that has about 10 to 13 students, and I took upon myself, and I'm like, hey Brett, they need or lunch. They needed lunch. I was like, can they bring their bikes over here and eat lunch that day? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, no problem at all.
And I thought, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
So, but again, always guys, shop local, buy local before you go out, because there's so many new shops, new restaurants,
Crazy the growth in Warren County over
and
the
it's still
last 3 to
going.
4 years. Yeah,
And it's not stopped
it's
yet.
awesome to see.
Yeah. And even seeing because I know I'm a couple of years older than you, right?
Yeah,
I graduated in 03. When did you graduate?
07.
Yeah. So yeah, 3 or 4 years apart. We have seen
But I'm guessing everybody watching this would have guessed me older.
no,
1,000%.
shut up.
Yeah.
Nah. But with that said, you can contest to this about the growth of Warren County. When we were in high school and middle school, there was really nothing to do, and the stores were limited. It was sports or
Yeah.
education, and then we would have to go out of town, or no, it would be the movies
Oh, yeah.
or Hot Wheels.
Oh, yeah. That was it.
That was it that I can
Well, I think
recall.
we're old enough for Northgate.
Huh?
Yeah.
And bowling. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we had bowling.
Yeah.
We had 3 things to do when we were kids. And now there's so many options to take your kids out and be a part, like legitimately be a part of this community.
I feel like we got shafted because we were in the gap in between Shooters and MudBums opening, and there was really nowhere to go watch a game.
No.
You just went. Applebee's was the closest thing.
That's
but,
true. And I worked at Applebee's.
Yeah.
So I was there for.
Applebee's has been a good community member too.
They have been a staple, and they're still here going strong.
Oh yeah.
Even with the rumors of closing in some other states and counties,
I would argue that is the most profitable Applebee's in the country. Yeah, it has to be way up.
It has to be. That's why it's still here.
Oh yeah.
100%. But with that said, anything else?
That's all for me.
Okay. Because it's 10:30 now.
We could go all the way down our daily specials, but
Yeah.
I can come back on for that if you got another.
Yeah. Come back on.
All right,
I gotta call Miss Pat. She's gonna talk to us about Hurricane Helene and the relief work they did through the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna do a phone interview with me.
It's awesome that the whole community's banded together.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've tried, I will say this before I let Brett go. I have tried to, in my newsletter coming up this week, which if you want a copy of it, it will be available on Tuesday and Wednesday at restaurants and stuff. I was trying to put every little group with a picture and a plug and I'm up to 3 pages.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you got enough
I don't have enough pages.
Yeah.
I don't. So there may be just a digital viewing of the hurricane or relief stuff. But again, this is why I stayed in Warren County. I will say that because the support you get from the community is always overwhelming, and it comes from the heart.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll have you back on
Sounds
again.
good. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Good luck on the phone call.
Oh yeah. Walkie talkie. I need my phone. And then here. You can get in on the side. Yeah, you can sit.
Me? Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. I told Miss Pat I was gonna call her.
Come on.
When it's time.
You can come hang out with me. I'm not letting you sit on my lap. I'm not Santa Claus. And I'm tired. Very tired.
Hello. Hi, Miss Pat. Let me get this thing. I'm gonna get it.
Just a holder?
No, I'm gonna do it this way.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Miss Pat?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you, and everybody else can too. So
Okay.
on the phone with me, I have Miss Pat Basham. Her and her husband and several folks went out over the weekend to in their airplanes and took several loads of donations to the help with the Hurricane Helene disaster relief. So first off, I want to say thank you for doing this phone interview with us here at Warren First. But tell everybody, what you guys did, how you decided to put this together with the chamber and all that.
Well, first, that was my son Kelly that flew our airplane over.
Oh, okay.
Zane Daxton got relatives in Spruce Pine, North Carolina. That she had an elderly uncle that had just had surgery and was keeping up with problems they were having. Now, Spruce Pine is a little bitty town. I know that with my husband. We went over there buying some pine tree liners. They're big in Christie Street, but a little bitty small town in the mountains, not real far from Gatlinburg. But Travis Saxton got some people together. 3 of us went. Chad Dunlap, Travis, and Kelly and I went Saturday with loads. Some other people went some other days, but the Warren County Airport helped a lot putting this together. The Rotary Club donated some stuff, and Graves Pharmacy sent medical supplies, first aid kits. They were begging for Benadryl. They were having trouble with what.
We talked about that.
We all gathered up items, and the chamber made signs that said from McMinnville, Tennessee, with prayers and love, that we put in a lot of our bags of stuff that we took. But a lot of people that were connected to the airport donated stuff, took to the airport, and we loaded up lots of diapers, lots of stored goods. We didn't take a lot of canned goods because canned goods are heavy to haul. We were taking things that were lighter weight so we could take so much more. But the First Baptist Church in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, had some people that agreed to meet us at the Avery County Airport and pick up some of the stuff we took. Their church there is housing and feeding a lot of the Baptist relief groups that's over there helping. So they met us. I know somehow Zane managed to get some insulin that somebody was in urgent need of, and some Kelly bought diapers with a lot of the money that the Rotary Club donated, and it was just amazing. Zane was able to get a lot of really nice looking quilts to take, and we just took quite a bit of stuff. And then I know Ryan Blackford, Jason Cripps, Keith Bolden, Miles Wilson were making some other trips. And since Travis is on a fall break, he may be making some more trips.
Okay.
We're trying to get everything together to see who needs what when. They went into a different airport. Some of those airports over there are so different from what we're used to. Kelly was used to seeing the airport miles before you get to it. Over there, you see it when you get there.
Right. You were telling me it was a little sketchy going in because you were not used to that.
A little bit, different because you couldn't see the airport in advance. But now they had things so organized. They had young kids, not little kids, but teenagers helping to unload planes. They had four-wheelers moving things. They had huge hangars that they were separating items, and then all the cars and trucks lined up to get supplies. It was a well-organized machine.
Because it's like you were saying, as soon as you got there, you didn't even get out of the plane yet, and it was already almost completely emptied.
They were unloading the airplane. I mean, they really were very efficient. And the people that from the church that were there waiting for us to get there, and, we weren't on the ground 20 minutes. There was probably 8 other airplanes besides us bringing in things there and loading and unloading. But the need over there is just unbelievable, and it's not going to stop.
Right.
But some of them were kind of taking a break for a day or two because they'd worked so many days without any rest and relief. But now the church, the Baptist church over at Spruce Pine, is feeding hundreds of people.
Right. And it's
Miss Pat, did you have any kind of resistance from any officials on getting the donations in? I've heard from several people that they're getting stopped and being told they have to get stuff inventoried and the supply coming in.
Now, I have a helicopter that got stopped by what sounded like a smart aleck somebody that wouldn't let him go, wasn't going to let him go back and get his co-pilot, didn't let him rescue the man. He brought the woman out. He wouldn't let him go back and get the man. But I don't have any earthly idea what that could have been about. And I think sometimes it depends on the officials on the ground. And Travis had made arrangements before we went and had talked to him.
Which I think
'Cause
helped out a lot because they knew you were
Yes.
coming. And I think for folks that are listening to Miss Basham, if you are setting up any more, because I know I still see donations are still compiling together and taking out,
Yes.
maybe the best route, not just by collecting donations, is figuring out getting in touch with, some of the list of people that we have put out there. We're also going to put it on our newsletter to kind of make arrangements to make it a smoother transition. It's like Melody was saying, I've seen it all over social media. FEMA has been kicking some people out, that was going to they brought a ton. This lady had 30 volunteers come with chainsaws to start helping, take the trees down and
Yep.
things like that. And FEMA, unfortunately, told them to turn around and go. And it just broke that girl's heart. Like all these people they put together.
Yeah.
So
I've
maybe
heard
making,
chainsaws is the number one thing that's getting turned away, and I'm like,
yeah,
let them through. The other thing that I had heard is that in Western North Carolina, one of the big, and this is from a lawyer who's
yeah,
been doing a lot of work, but one of the big shelters, the health department, all of these people in the shelter who have lost everything,
mm-hmm.
and the health department told them they can't take showers without flip-flops. They don't even have
Yeah.
clothes
They
on
don't
their
even
back.
have flip flops.
I mean, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
But this woman was able to go to the local nail salons, and they donated over 15,000
Wow.
flip-flops that she got in. And as I've been telling you, my good friend's mom, Sharon, is still in Asheville. They were supposed to get power back on Friday, but then they said it might be Sunday, and it would be weeks before they could get water.
Yeah.
But one of her big things is how difficult it's been to get her prescription medication, which is
Yeah.
life-saving prescription medication. And I don't even know how rescue workers
How
can
can
get
that
that in.
even
I mean,
work?
how does that work? But
Well,
I've also heard that
there
about the
are
Benadryl.
people that are making good connections now. We stopped coming back and pushing forward, and we got a car there, and was talking to the young kid that came and picked us up, and he got to fuel Dolly Parton's airplane on Saturday and see her, and the Walmart airplane was still in Pigeon Forge. Now their helicopters are working with people and taking supplies in that people are getting to Pigeon Forward. But
Oh, that's
the
great.
airport, the main some of the main communication in and out of around Asheville, which handles all those little mountain areas, has been out, and they're trying to get it back in. But we were fortunate that we were able to have communication and get in and out all right.
That's one thing that Sharon had said also, is that she was having to go to one location to make phone calls, and then go to another location to do text messages, and do another location to get access to her email.
Yeah.
It's just very spotty. I think Elon Musk had set up something or other where they could get out, but I mean, it's still,
There's a link in some place.
yes.
Yeah.
And the lady at the church that came and met us at the airport is getting so many phone calls that just keeping her phone charged where there's power has been not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we didn't take the first trip, that Travis made a special trip back this particular place, was can openers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can good. And there's no electricity. They've got to have manual can openers. So I know George went out and bought can openers, and Travis took them back on his second trip.
Right.
Or pop tops.
But not every can. Like me and Miss Pat talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Not every can's a pop top.
Get the pop top when you can, as
Yeah.
much as
Right.
possible.
Right.
But yeah.
But now flying canned goods we didn't do a whole lot of, but we did a whole lot of instant mashed potatoes and
Yeah.
spaghetti and
Right.
stuff. And I had to take tomato sauce or tomato paste to go with some of my spaghetti stuff. Oh, I did take some fresh things for the church to use in feeding people. I took milk and bacon and eggs and sausage and hamburger meat, hot dog buns and hot dogs and stuff.
And another thing that me and Miss Basham was talking about is, a lot of people there with no electricity and the power and stuff, they don't have the television or the means of a type of entertainment, and having something to read or maybe color might be the next thing that people need to think about. Maybe getting color books for kids or something. The Dollar Tree is an easy route to get, a lot of coloring books for these kids. And if you have, old magazines, and I'm saying even if they're 2, 3, 4 months old, that you thought about using for, your fire pit, because it is fall season and people are, going to be having their fire starters. Maybe, donating your old magazines to take. I mean, it's as simple as that, because they need reading material and they need to know. And I'm not opposed, which I thought this was a great idea, where, Miss Pat said they need to know where these items are coming from. So in the basket for at the chamber, they came up with like, where the items came from, Warren County talking about, and maybe putting in a card of thinking of you, because people need to know. I mean, even though I know that they're very appreciative of the donations that we're giving them, because from what I've been told from you, Miss Pat, and Stephen Hilton, and everybody I've spoke to so far, they are so overwhelmed with love, and they can tell people are praying about them, because the way this transitioning, it may not be going as fast as they want, but they know they're being taken care of.
Right.
And that's the one thing as a human, as a survival skill.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're taken care of, and we can take, and when we can't take care of ourselves, and knowing that people have our back, and somebody that's holding us up in a struggle, you don't know the stress relief that gives a human.
I don't know if you saw the video, and I can't tell you where it was, but it was some kind of resort, and the guest anyway. This woman was floating down river, and there was a guy in a canoe, a complete stranger from my understanding, who was trying to get to her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he realized he couldn't get to her, and he threw himself into that water.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and swam to her and got her to the shore. There was no skin color involved. There was no
No.
religion involved. There was no politics involved. There was a man who saw somebody in need and
jumped
risked
out.
his own life to go get her and bring her to the shore.
And if
I'm telling you, that is just heart wrenching. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful
I
thing.
saw a video where the soon to be bride had to jump off a roof, and her father-in-law, which was in a canoe.
I think this is the same
Yeah,
one. Yeah, because
yeah.
it was some wedding party. I was getting mixed
Yep,
signals
yeah.
as to what had happened.
And she had to jump off, and like within a split second of her jumping off and veering in the path she needed to, the house broke off and started shifting down water right
Yeah.
behind her.
Yeah.
And then the team got together where they had a rope, and I think they threw it to him first so they can drag her in and drag him in.
I think this is something of the
Something similar.
Yeah.
But you can see these stories. You can now. I will ask you this, Miss Pat, as you were flying, y'all were flying over there. Could you see any of the damage on the roads
Yes.
and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, you're not seeing that much water as much as you're seeing the mud everywhere.
Right. Right.
Yes, and we saw people on highways in western North Carolina lined up, and I'm trying to figure out what they're lined up for. But if you finally flew enough that you saw, there must be somebody giving away supplies somewhere.
Yeah.
Because this line was slowly snaking. And then you'd see other roads that was absolutely no traffic at all, and you would realize one end or the other was closed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yes.
And speaking
Especially
of,
from Pigeon Forge over to where we went to Avery County, North Carolina.
okay.
And it was funny, like I say, some places there would be traffic, others there would be none.
Yeah. And piggybacking on that, where you saw the cars and you assuming that these are people getting supplies. One thing me and you talked about yesterday was the group that you went to do the drop off the donation said the big thing next for them that they would like to see is and when I say bodies, like volunteers to help so these the other folks can get rest, because you were like saying no one is resting right now, and some people are working 2 to 80 something hours before they can even get maybe 2 hours of rest, if that. And if I'll say this on air, if anybody knows of a group going, please let us know if there's going to be and even Miss Pat, if you hear if anybody's doing plane rides for volunteers, let us know, because like I told Miss Pat last night, if that's something that they are thinking about doing, I don't care to go a couple of days.
Yeah.
I just got to make arrangements because of my little baby. But,
Right.
make arrangements with somebody. I don't know about carpooling, but, if you're carpooling and or if there's a plane available to drop some volunteers off for a couple days, me and Walker said already we're down.
Yeah.
So, I told her last night.
Ask Travis,
Yeah.
and they might check if their church. I don't know. Like I say, the Baptist rescue group is staying in their church. I don't know whether they have room for anybody else to stay over or not. But
Okay.
we'll try to find
Even
out.
if it's a couple of hours and we come back and you take me back, I don't,
Right.
but if there's anything we can do to help, Miss Pat, and you get any more word, please let me know, okay?
And I do want to say thank you to the chamber. They did put together a nice big bag of things and all the flyers that said with love and prayers from
Yeah.
McMinnville, Warren County. And we put that in a lot of our bags that we took over there.
Yeah, and again, that's I say this like I said it with Brett, and I'll be a broken record all day. That's why I live in McMinnville, Tennessee. And
Small towns are different.
you cannot put a price on stuff like this,
No.
because I always get it's so welcoming knowing that when you are down or you're down in another county, we got your back. And that's why I want to be a part of that group that's going to be
Yeah.
together. So,
It was very humbling, and it to me was a privilege for me to get to go.
yeah.
And like I say, Travis Saxon's the one that put together most of this, and
God
but
bless
now
him.
people donated money to help buy fuel for the airplanes. It costs about $250
Yeah.
per airplane just to make a round trip over there.
Yeah, and that's another thing that people don't think about, because I mean, if everything was free right now, everybody would be helping, right?
Oh, I know.
I mean, but it doesn't work that way. We live in an economy where we have to, we have to pay for things, and that's how we move and we grow as a community, as a state, and that's just how it is. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But
We
again,
spent a lot of money in Warren County
we
to
did.
make things in North Carolina.
We have.
It worked.
We have. Well, thank you so much again, Miss Pat, and thanks for reaching out to me the other day. I love you. You're like family to me. Everybody I know, I will say this, they know me when I was in diapers,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and so. But with that said, take care. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Again, that was Miss Pat. I love me some Miss Pat. She is actually one part of the and I'm not going to say it right. So, over at the Warren County Airport, there's actually a club over there that gets together and they form these organizations or functions, and the money that is raised for that group goes to these young folks that want to work on airplanes, fly airplanes. It's a whole cool aviation program that they put together.
Yes.
But again,
love North
if
Carolina.
there's anybody piggybacking on this, if there's anybody interested in maybe volunteering the carpooling and or the flying to get some volunteers to go over, it is fall. I'm going to put it out there. It's fall break.
Yeah.
And if this is a good time to go, then go. Even if it's like for a couple of hours just to help.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just so much more we can do.
I agree. I agree. It's just trying to figure it out and figuring out what we'll let through, because I am hearing a lot of story about FEMA just stopping all of the things they're having to reroute to try to get around them, because they want to take inventory of what's in the truck and confiscate some of the stuff. And I'm like, just let us do our thing.
I try not to get one-sided, but when it comes to FEMA, I've heard more bad than good right now.
Oh, I've heard
And
it during Katrina, and I've
Yeah.
heard it during other rescue
yeah,
efforts,
yeah,
and I get it. I know that there's still rules that have to be followed and red tape that has to be done.
totally understand it.
And I
Processes
get
and
that,
procedures, yes.
but I also feel like we need to prioritize. And what's more important, keeping an inventory of the donations going through, or making sure that the donations are getting where they need to get as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
Same thing with the flip-flops. These people have nothing.
yeah.
Can we not just give them a hot shower? I don't know. I don't know
I
what's
think there's
going
a
on.
way to do this, and if anybody's an environmental enthusiast that knows how to boil water
Yeah.
and create I
Yeah.
don't know, a makeshift God shower. I don't
Right,
know what to
something, right.
call it.
A
I think
camp
it's
shower.
a camp shower.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, that's one thing. Lord, that's one thing I saw online, is because you also have to think there's no running water, and there's not going to be for months.
Mhm.
So these people are like, put a plastic bag over the toilet, put kitty litter in there. But I'm going to tell you from my adventures, there's something actually, and this might be something to send over. It's called poo poo powder. You can buy it on Amazon. It's a whole box, and it's a bunch of them. But it's essentially what you find in diapers, I think. But what you do is you just sprinkle that in a bag, and then when you pee in it, it solidifies it. So then you can just tie the bag and toss it. And
Oh.
it's incredible. So that
Okay.
might be something that could get donated over there. Because I mean, honestly, I just put one of those small bathroom sized trash can. I just put one of those bags over a bucket. I pee in that, toss it.
We get the same.
I
We've been
mean,
camping
when you
before.
camp, you do what you got to do. It's a
Also,
survival
with
thing.
the extra diapers
Um,
you have left over from your toddler, we put that in the bottom and it absorbs it too.
See,
Just so you know. Because
Yeah.
we're also in potty training mode. So that's
Yeah,
what we do
do
in
what you gotta
her
do.
potty training
Poor
thing.
Walker's getting more than he wanted to know this.
But
Sorry, Walker. Yes. Walker's in the school of hard knocks.
yes, yeah.
He's
needs to
learning
be.
things. I'm
He
telling
needs
you,
to
I
be.
learned more from the school of hard knocks than I ever did from a formal education.
Yeah.
Hey, before we let Brian on,
Yes,
dropped-
he's next.
we dropped the ball. We forgot the one big thing about homecoming. We didn't talk about the court.
Sorry.
So
Real quick, make it go.
Okay, so the winner of homecoming court, our homecoming king, is Jaden Scott. Which,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I kind of knew. Jaden is a whole vibe. I
That
love
picture,
him.
by the way, that Brent Cardin took of him.
Him screaming. I got the same picture.
Priceless. I loved it.
So
I
we will.
loved
Yeah,
it.
it's a great shot.
Yeah.
And then Lexi Hollingsworth, I believe, was the queen.
You were there, not I, so I'm going to count you on that.
My memory. I was
But we
taking
will
pictures, not
have the
notes.
correct names and stuff in
Yes.
the newsletter.
Hang on. I think that was her name, Lexi Hollingsworth. She was
I think
actually
you're
the
right.
one that was being escorted by Jaden, so they both got it, and it was
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. But that is actually the photos I am working on now, is the homecoming court. So those will be up hopefully later today. As I said, 4,000 pictures I'm trying to go through, and we're
Yeah.
not going in order.
Mm-mm.
So I don't think with me you need a history class, because I won't tell you the G-rated version.
We are in the class for
back version.
community. This is community class.
Community service class.
Yep, yep.
Anything
else?
Anyway, congratulations to everybody. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do Autumn Street Fair, because I've got to get my kid to Woodbury.
No, that's right. Go ahead.
So
Finish
really
it
quick.
up. Finish
Anyway,
up.
Autumn Street Fair was incredible. Leadership, thank you guys so much.
Y'all did great.
Everything that they could control went off flawlessly.
Yeah.
The only issues were the heat,
Mm.
which they have no control over.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
And the Yellow Jackets were horrendous. We were being swarmed. Again, that's because of the flooding.
Yeah,
It's
Hurricane
brought them,
Helene brought all
and
them out.
they're all over the place. I think one kid got stung in the face, had to go in for ice.
He did.
So it was a whole thing, but it went really well. There was a lot of people. I know my sales were great. I know other people's sales were great. The heat really didn't keep that many people away. It was still packed.
It was beautiful weather for a beautiful time.
It was.
I mean,
could
how
have
many
done.
vendors do you think they had?
They were packed.
No, there was more than 60.
There was more than 60. It
I'm
was
saying
packed.
150 to 250.
Leadership could probably tell us, but I mean, it was insane. And in a good way. I know Tops was packed. I know Vanilla Bean is trying to recover because they got packed. I sent Matt in there for one cappuccino. I didn't see him for 30 minutes.
Come on.
But anyway, it was a great day. It's always a great fundraiser for our little town to bring in tourism and bring in people. And thank you to Leadership McMinnville
They did
and
a
the
great
chamber who they're a part of for putting off another flawless
I
event.
will say this, you know, I'm gonna let my son say it. He's gonna when we got there, he was a little upset at 4:33.
He still got fudge.
He still got some stuff.
A mixture of 10.
It's called pickleball. He got pickleball table. He got a mini pickleball table. And so thank you to the Rustic Daisy
Yes.
for I'm gonna get it eventually. For allowing my son to get those 2 items and make his day because he was like, "Where's everybody going?"
We're closed. I think everybody was ready to go home at that point. I mean, it really was. I mean, I'm sure y'all can see. My
I could tell you
lips
and Matt were like
are sunburned. Oh, we
red
were done.
hot.
She saw the sensory overload cranky melody, and it was not pretty. And I called her later and I said, I am so sorry.
And I said, "You don't need to apologize. I picked up on it. You were not ugly with me."
I was
Nah.
exhausted and I was just emotionally
As
and
you should
mentally
be.
done. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I had not had that fan, I would not have survived. Everybody was coming over there to get air conditioning because even though it was 85,
Yeah.
the fan I use, which is the same one Main Street Live uses, blows cold air. And that was the only thing keeping it. Man, Matt and I were fighting over that fan. I was like, look
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I was like, here, young
Well, go
whippersnapper.
get your baby.
Okay, I'm going to take
What are you
him.
gonna-
I was
And
gonna say something.
what were we saying?
Before
Is that my dollar?
no, this one.
Oh.
Remember? Did y'all see that big scary thing out of the window from Tops?
They put that up there every year.
Thing.
Yeah,
We
they put
love
that up
those.
there,
Yeah.
up there every year.
It's a good time.
But,
It's a good time.
Oh, good times.
Now, Brian,
We're gonna let Brian in here.
I texted him this morning. It's the first time I was like, "Look what I'm doing. I'm texting Brian before he texts me."
I gotta say something.
All right, I'm gonna let
Brian, okay.
Santa Carr come in here.
Okay. What do you want?
I gotta
Fast.
say something before Brian gets on. I am officially starting another kids thing.
Oh yeah. So look in this week's news. You want to talk about it at the end?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it at the end.
Well, I want to say one more thing. So all kids right here that have bad reading and stuff, I came up with an ingenious idea, and then if the kids want to be adults, I made a little kids page that you can also get at every kiosk that she set up.
Yep.
So it would have
Every
the
shop.
adults and the kids, and every single kids I make will have a question, like a math question. Today's
riddle, a
yeah,
riddle.
no, it's a question.
Oh, a question. Okay.
It's a question, and I'll give y'all
It's
a
a
hint
surprise.
before.
It's a
No,
surprise.
no.
Let it be a
You want
surprise.
a surprise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's let it be a surprise.
If we get 10 comments that says it, make it a surprise, I'll do it.
I will tell you this. Hold on. Sit down. Before Brian comes on, I called Brian or texted him because voting is one crucial thing that is important to our community, to our county, to our whole United States, okay? And I want Walker to explain how fun it is to go to the voting polls first and foremost. Tell everybody because we always go and tell it why you think it's important to vote. This I want to hear you. You've talked about this several times with us.
My brain exploded.
No, it didn't.
It is pretty fun to do the votings as
And
a
hit
kid.
the red button.
The only thing I do when I go voting, you always have to. Every kid out here, don't do anything except push the red button. We love the red buttons. It's just you cannot just not press it. It's a red button. The iconic
But you
red
have to
button.
wait till your parents
Beep, I
or
already pressed
guardian tell you it's time to press it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
What?
why is it important? Because this election coming up, we're voting for the president.
Wait, what?
We're voting for the president this year.
What? Who?
So
is it
that's
gonna be?
Trump,
Is it gonna be Trump?
or
All right,
Harris.
everybody out here, everybody here, Trump. Everybody vote Trump, okay? Vote Trump, okay? Peace, guys.
There you go. Okay, there we go. I didn't know it was going to go that way. I was just saying how important it is to vote. So what's really cool is a lot of schools actually get together and they vote for animals and, stuff like that. And Walker always, because he follows Trump. and he follows everybody else.
From 2024.
I mean, it's what he does. And again, I don't influence him at all. He watches the debates as I do, and then I let him decide because that's his choice. Living in our country, our free country, it's our freedom to choose our religion, all that. And so I'm not going to be upset with him if he wanted to vote for, a Harris. That's his choice. When he's older, he gets that right to vote. And voting, like we said on Friday's show, is a privilege.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
whoever it is, if Trump's in this, it's just going right.
Okay. There you go. See, popular vote right there. One more thing, and then you're done.
When I was like, I don't know, when I was in kindergarten at Codman Academy, they gave us a donkey picture and then an elephant picture. The elephant was Trump, and the other one, who was it?
Biden, I believe.
Biden. And I colored both, and I put Trump in, but I took it out, and I voted for
the donkey.
The donkey, and then everybody voted for the donkey except for the elephant. Only one person did.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest mistake of my
So he said it, not me. He said it, not me. So with that said, we said voting is a privilege, and it's one of the most important freedoms we have as Americans. And with that said, today is the last day to register to vote.
Yes.
I cannot overemphasize that enough. So with that said, Brian here, stop. With that said, Brian is here to talk about the ways we can vote, or not ways to register. Go.
Okay, so today is the last day to register to vote. The easiest way is to do it online.
Yeah.
Especially if you have an ID through the state of Tennessee. You can always go to your voter registration, which our administration office is at Locust Street, and I'll give you the exact address. It's 201 Locust Street, Suite 3, and that's the Warren County Elections Commission. And you can find them online at warren.commission@tn.gov. There's tons of ways that you can find them on through Google and everything. And their phone number is area code 931-473-5834.
And like Miss Dale was saying also too on Friday's show, get all your information done today. And as long as on the mail on your postage says October the 7th, you're going to get counted. It will get counted.
This is the actual registration document, and this has got to be in the mail and postmarked by today's date, October 7th.
Yes.
If you decide to fill one of these out, you've got to get it in the mail. It's got to be postmarked by today. If you put it in tomorrow, if you put it in too late and it doesn't get postmarked, you miss on these things.
Yeah,
so
you do.
We want to make sure that you know that this has got to go in today. You also, today,
Yeah.
for the state of Tennessee, if you're going to register to vote and do it online, the easiest way is to go to Go Vote TN
So easy.
and upload the app and work through the app. It's so easy. If you have a state ID, you can make sure that your registration is current. You can find your polling location. You can find so much about who's on the ballots,
Right.
because that's important, because here in McMinnville, it varies as to where you live.
Yeah,
if
the
you live
sample
out in
ballot.
Viola, you're voting for a mayor out there. I think the same with Morrison.
Yes.
Here in McMinnville, you have to the aldermen that are
Centertown,
running.
too.
So
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot in the general election this year, as well as with the federal. And if you have a teenager turning 18 between October the 8th through November the 5th, your 18-year-old needs to register today as well. So they can, once their birthday hits, when the voting happens, it's going to click on where he or she can be able to vote in this year's election. And I do believe that, with my son, voting is very important. It's one of our the biggest freedoms I feel like that we have. And if we don't use it, I always feel like we're gonna lose it in a sense. And I don't want to. I don't think we'll ever lose the vote ever, but you never know. You just don't know.
Well, we can't control what other states do, and that's why nullification and state sovereignty is a really big issue right now on a federal level, especially here in Tennessee. Earlier this week, I was in Nashville.
Yeah.
Actually, last week I was in Nashville to hear a summer study on nullification, and I'm new to the game. I'm just learning about a lot of this stuff. But with the immigrant population and how that affects voting in different states,
Oh,
and
okay.
how really it affects representation.
Yeah.
So if you've got more of a population boost, you can add, and they can realign the districts to add more representation. So if
Oh, that's
California
cool.
gets an increase of several million people, then they can add more people in the House of Representatives, and that
Oh.
can change the way things are voted on.
Oh.
So
Pros and cons.
yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. And again, I'm a layman. I'm a nurse by trade.
Yeah.
But we need to be aware of these things. We need to be aware that, especially on a local level, our vote counts so much. I mean, we had a school board election where the incumbent was beat by 14
I was gonna
votes.
say it was like 12 or
Oh
15,
yeah,
something in there. It was so
such a
close.
close margin. But the thing is, these affect how Warren County runs, how the school system runs, how the aldermen and commissioners and mayors and executives. This is where our life happens. So we want to encourage everybody
Yeah.
to be aware. Please share this video. Kelly,
Yeah.
thank you so much for all that you do
Awesome.
on the different
Yeah.
platforms and everything. We'll try to link below, especially in Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't have Spotify, but we'll try to get some more links to how people
On the
can.
comments. We can put them
Yes.
in the comments
Okay,
later.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. And get people aware of what's going on here in Warren County. There's so many things that people just they need to know.
They do, and and I always say the more we know, the better we are, and we got to stay united. We have to be a united front, just like we're rallying together for the Hurricane Helene disaster relief. The same concept goes for this as well, because as many whether it's been Democratic or Republican meetings I've been to, one thing I've noticed on both forefronts is we need to unite and we need to work together because that's how change happens. And by doing going to early voting, I say this all the time. I feel that early voting is important because in case you can't go on November the 5th, right? Is it November the 5th?
November 5th, life happens.
Yeah,
Things
something could
happen.
happen. But if during that early voting period, it's 2 weeks prior to the federal and general election on November the 5th, it, you don't want to miss it. And I just feel like we all need to show up during early voting those first 2 weeks and get it in.
Yes.
I feel that we know I feel like for me, I got to speak on behalf of me. I feel like I already know enough of where I'm going to go in my vote. And especially I'm going to say it with Vice President Kamala Harris. There may be some things we still need to look into because she's starting to come up with different types of platforms and here and there. And I said this on the last week's show on Friday. Look into it. You have the right to do the research and to put that time in because you're worth it. But you have to do the work, because sometimes it's really hard. And this also includes with, former President Donald Trump, to trust certain websites. It's really hard to find those certified, validated, 100% fact checking websites. And you owe it to yourself to find this information out because that's one thing, when I hear one thing, I go and look it up because sometimes it's not fact checked and you owe that to yourself. And I feel like that's the world we live in now. It's really hard when it comes to politics, it's hard sometimes to believe the horse's mouth, as I say in my own way.
Well, we live in a two-party system.
Yeah.
And you can write in anybody that you want. And if that makes you feel good,
Vote Dolly.
oh my goodness, wouldn't she be a wonderful president?
I know. Everybody, I'm calling it the pink party. If Dolly Parton is listening, call it the pink party. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, I think with Dolly, you can do anything.
Yeah, anything with Dolly Parton's possible.
But the most important thing is with this election is I know a lot of people focus on the characters.
Yeah.
Really, guys, it's about the policy. It's
At the
about
end
the
of the
policy
day.
they represent. It's about knowing what they're going to do and how it affects you. And things like immigration,
Yeah.
things like tax,
Gun
things like
control.
gun control, they affect us here in Warren County.
Mhm.
And we're very lucky that we live in a state that has great voter integrity. We
Mhm.
rank near the top
I
nearly in
want to
every
say
category.
third or I mean, it's top 5.
Yeah, we're very blessed.
Mhm.
But the thing is representation on a local level stretches over
Mm-hmm.
even further when you think about what's going on at the federal
Yeah,
level.
it's like I heard before, Brian, somebody said it all starts with the county. It really doesn't start. I mean, we're voting these people in, at the state level, at the federal level. I mean, it all starts with us in the county.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is here in our county alone, one of the highest offices is sheriff. And our sheriff is not only to protect us from bad, evil people in the community, it's to protect us from tyranny at the state and federal level too. So there's a doctrine called doctrine of the lesser magistrates, which is very important. It's a legal term, and it actually shows on a local level how your government is supposed to protect you even from the external powers that reach down. So and again, I'm just learning a lot about this, but
always room to grow. I love
yes,
it.
look, we need to be able to put, and it's like you said about data, we need to make our best decisions. We need to have the best data that we can to do that. So
I agree 100%. And with that said, of course, we're going back on dates. If everybody's paying attention, which we will put this in the comments later. So today is the last day to register to vote for the upcoming election on November the 5th. And I will also say this, today is a good day as well to not just register, but if you recently moved here or recently changed address, say from Shellsford Road to Wheeler Road, for example, you also need to change your address because you don't want to go to the wrong precinct the day of the event. I say that with love. And I think at early voting they can change. I'm not positive. Don't count me on that. But when I've heard it before, but don't count me on that. They can change your address at early voting. But today would also be a good day to change your information as well.
Yes, go ahead and get that done. It will make your process so much easier.
So much smoother.
We'll go through
go through the
times
dates,
and
buddy.
dates. Okay, so early voting starts Wednesday, October 16th and runs through Thursday, October 31st.
Halloween.
Here at Warren County, in
The
the
election
city,
commissions.
you'll be voting at the administration building, and that's open on Mondays from 11 to 8. So that's their late day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 to 6. And then on Saturdays from 9 to 12. And then the satellite centers in Morrison and Centertown will be opened on Friday, October 25th through October 31st.
Yeah.
And they have the same hours as the administration building.
And just a capped on that, if doesn't matter if you live in Centertown or Morrison, if you're in that area and you want to stop to early vote, you can. You don't have to live there to vote there on early voting. Early voting's open to everybody.
The last day to ask for an absentee ballot, if you cannot vote in the very last day in the state of Tennessee is October 29th.
Oh, yeah.
And then on election day, November the 5th, at your local polling station, the hours are going to be from 8 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you come at 7, you're going to have to wait an hour
7
before they
p.m.,
open up.
right?
So yes, it's 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
p.m. Okay, you said
Now,
8 to 7
I'm sorry.
a.m.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
whoa, that's a
I'm
late
trying to
night.
be official. And I'm trying to remember to let them know 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
is
8
when-
a.m. If you are watching, we're going to say this. We are not Nashville. We are Warren County. 8 a.m., 8 a.m., 8 a.m. If you get there at 7, good for you. You're going to be in the line for an hour. First in line.
And look, there's some decorum that comes along whenever you come to the
Yeah.
election polling place. Please, you're not allowed to wear T-shirts that endorse whoever it is your candidate is, any candidate at all. You're not, or your party. You're not supposed to talk about who you're going to be voting for.
Yeah.
It's neutral. The people that are there to run a fair election as best as we can, and so we want to keep the distraction down to a minimum because there's going to be enough things. There's going to be people coming in with handicap needs. There's going to be people that are coming in with errors in their registration. There's going to be all kinds of things that people missed out on. So please, if you can, understand it's the most American thing you do, and you can wear an American flag. Please don't wear an R or a D or a certain candidate. It just makes things a lot easier, and no one has to be a mean old lady and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, sir, can you take that shirt off or turn it
Yeah.
inside out?" No.
And don't forget, some people, one year when Ryle ran for mayor, right? The first year he ran for mayor, he had these buttons. And I had my jacket on. I made sure I had no swag on at all. And I grabbed my blue jean jacket because it was cold. And I put it on, and they're like, you can't wear that. And I'm looking around like, what do you mean? And then they were like, and I'm like, oh gosh,
The
ain't the
button.
button.
Yeah.
It's a button. But with that said, again, this is the time for everyone to shine and to come out and to show up and to be proud of who they're voting for, whoever that may be.
Walker, what's the most important thing to do? What are we pushing at the end? The red button. Make sure that you push that red button. Hey, if you're on the YouTube platform, make sure to smash that like button.
Yes, smash that like, exactly. Anything else before I let you go?
No, just
Because I got Brett one more time
Okay,
on today. But
excellent. Well, thank you, Brett, for letting us to be here.
you and Brett are actually matching.
Well, we're Tennessee fans, and so we're proud of it. Even though our team had a little hiccup this last weekend,
Mhm.
we love who we love. We're blessed to be born
Yeah.
and live here in this wonderful
Now,
state.
since you watch college football, I do not, but I did get to see the aftermath of Vandy and
Oh my
Alabama.
goodness!
I mean, if no one has seen, Vandy beat Alabama like by 5 or something, was it?
I think it was 40 to 35, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. And Vandy took down the goalpost. And I kid you not, they took that goalpost. We were there on Friday night. If we stayed another night in Nashville, we would have seen it. Me and my group would walk, and I saw the video of them carrying that goalpost down Broadway. I was like, oh my God. But again, when stuff like that happens, and I don't know how many years, but they said it's been several years since Vandy actually beat
I think it's been
Allen.
40 years.
Yeah. I mean, it was well deserved. And I want to say this while he's on here with me, back me up on this. This is the first year Jay Taylor is one of the 3 captains on that Vandy team.
Awesome.
And that is a Warren County Pioneer
Yes.
football player, showing how well that program has been running.
One of Coach Matt Turner's
Boys.
great guys.
Yes. And I just thought, I got cold chills when I saw that CJ Taylor was one of the 3 captains. And that brought joy to me, not the win, but him being a captain on the Vandy team. And I saw a post yesterday or this morning talking about how, there was talk about him maybe leaving, but he said, no, I want to stay here. And then it's reasons like that win with Alabama last night that he stayed. I really do. I'm trying to get in touch with him as my next goal.
Well, please, somebody tag him in this video so we
Please.
can
Or if
send him some
anybody
love.
knows him, please text him and say, I would love to have him do a phone interview like I did with Miss Pat, something, because I just think it would be really great to hear how the boys under Coach Turner are doing now, and then get their point of view on what they learned from him.
Well, one of the beautiful things about Warren County is we've had some wonderful sports figures come out, and we've had Lester Hudson, and with CJ, it gives hope to children in the community for young people to see, hey, that guy, and there's a good chance, guys, he's going to be in the NFL. But even if he doesn't, just to be where he's been and done what he's done, that's a great thing.
How much he's accomplished.
Oh,
yeah,
for our little county. So we're
Yeah.
so blessed to have him. He's been a great ambassador of Warren County. I love the commercials that he's shot here in Warren County, and we're very proud of him. So please, if you get a chance, if you know his socials or anything, send him some love. Link him to this video right here. Let him know that we're looking for him.
We have a lot of great boys.
We're cheering for him. And I'm sorry, I should have worn my Vandy shirt.
It's
if we were going to go
okay.
CJ. Sorry, CJ.
I had Vandy and I didn't think about wearing it, so you're okay. I may wear it tomorrow. I may wear something Vandy all week just to show some love. But again, I always appreciate Brian coming in on the show and educating everybody on voting, and Miss Dale that's come in. We will have them, of course, back on the show closer to early election time because I think it's vital. And this time I may do. I'm starting to. There's just so much to do on a podcast that I can't get into everything, and so a part of me, it's spam, isn't it? Just ignore it. But with that said, I'm gonna start potentially doing a Warren First After Hours where it's specifically for that one topic because I really would like to get Miss Susie, Miss Dale, and you back in, and we can kind of do like a round table type thing to talk about all this stuff, even if it's a 15-30 minute segment. But I know we could talk forever if
Oh,
we needed to.
there's so many things going on.
There
I
is.
mean, I want to take off my election commission hat,
Yeah.
and I want to talk about Republican Party. I want to talk about PTO. I want
Yeah.
to talk about the school system.
You have so much.
Well, no, let's leave it with elections today.
Okay.
But yes, I'd love to come back. And Kelly, thank you so much. And please, folks, make sure to take these videos. Make sure to tag other folks in them. I love. I'm sitting here looking at
Yeah.
all these people that are watching and have tagged others. But this gets good information around.
It really does.
And it helps Kelly out, helps the algorithm out, and helps all the sponsors that are local that are.
That help sponsor this because
Yes.
without them, I do not gouge people's wallets because that. But I gotta get a little something to keep the the electric on, as I say,
Well,
the lights on.
These businesses depend on your dollars to come in, and so we want to make sure that we buy as much local as possible.
Yeah.
I've been a beneficiary of a local business. My family owned a pharmacy here for about 50
Yeah.
years, and my grandfather, you would never see him in Walmart. He just
Never.
didn't believe in going to Walmart, and he was
That
probably
makes
smarter than a
sense
lot of
why
us.
his store was like it was. It's a one-stop shop.
Oh, look, he'd get up in the middle of the night and open it up for people if they had. Oh,
Aw.
look, and you can't find that in a corporation.
No.
So
Shout out to Nestor in back in the old days, man.
Well, you look at Stacy's Wellness, you look at McMinnville Drug, you look
Graves
at
Family
Graves
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy.
McMinnville Drug.
That's why they're able to do so well against the corporate pharmacies because they have that hometown touch. McMinnville's a very special place. Warren County's there's no county on earth like this place. So we're very blessed. And Kelly, again, thank you so much for what you do and how
Thanks
you
for
support
coming
the
last
county.
minute. I love it how I just text him at 6. I'm like, is it too early? Nah. And like, send. He'll get it. If he wants to show up, he'll come.
Thank you very much. Have a
Anytime.
great
You
fall
too.
break, all you
Yes.
people.
Speaking of that, that's what we're gonna go right into. Thank you, Brian, for that great segue. Walker, you want to come up and tell it? We're gonna tell your story that happened this morning. It's walkie talkies time. Okay. So of course we are on fall break.
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna make sure you're my.
And I am tired.
You're already tired?
No, good night.
Stop it. Be serious for 2 seconds.
All right.
Okay, so with that said, it is fall break for all the Warren County public schools
Week.
for a whole week, which Walker is super pumped, and he's probably gonna be in a majority of my shows unless he opts out and he doesn't want to. But
I would like to say something. Aren't we going to a farm today?
I'm gonna call her after this to see if we can come out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a little article about that.
Yeah, and again, while Walker's out, he's gonna do little articles on it. With that said, we would like to do a huge thank you this morning. This morning we ate breakfast after dropping off Randy Jane. We went to our mother-son outing to the Waffle House, and
It was delicious.
it was always
It was
good.
good.
And that's another story Walker would like to talk about is how Waffle House always has what did you say? They
always have joyful employees.
expressions and employees. Yes.
Even though it's not Christmas yet.
Yeah, he said it's like they act like it's Christmas and it's not even. But this morning we got to, or I got to talk to a gentleman. He purchased our breakfast, and it was just really nice because you don't see that a lot anymore. And he said, "Well, your son was very well mannered, and he was just seemed really nice." And his name was I'm going to call him Mr. Lee.
What's his name, Lee?
His first name was Lee. And as I was talking to him, he said that how he was moving here. Either he lived in Smithville or he moved here from Smithville. And one cool thing that it's so neat having relatable stories.
Because
His
his wife died in the exact same year in the exact same month that Papa died.
Yeah, about 3 years ago when my
actually.
papa or
It was
my
4
dad,
years.
it'll be 4 years.
Yeah,
it's
'cause
coming
this
up.
year.
Yeah, it's 4 years now. But with that said, his wife died with lung cancer, and of course, my dad also died with cancer as well. And just being connected like that, and being a relatable story. And I was telling Walker, stop. You can hear that when you do that. One cool thing I always say when these unexplainable moments happen, I always when I heard that man say like your son's got they can hear that when your son has good manners, it's like a message from Papa saying you're doing good, like
Yes.
Walker. You are.
You know what? You know what I'm excited about?
What?
What do you think, North Carolina?
So
'Cause I know now you definitely want to go to North Carolina.
So one thing me and Walker are big on is helping out the community any way we can, really. And he is a huge part of not just me, but everybody that is around him. And he wants to go to North Carolina one way or another to help load boxes, help donations, whatever he can. And so, if anybody, like Miss Pat said on our early interview that we did, if anybody is interested in, flying folks there or maybe doing a carpool, me and Walker will be on that trolley.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I want to wait. Now we actually are going to North Carolina.
If somebody wants to take us, I'm down.
If Ryan J. Moore is
Shout out to
listening
Ryan.
right now, you better say yes. You're taking us to North Carolina.
He's just put you out there. No, if
Stop
Ryan
putting him
may be
out there.
busy. Ryan may be busy. It's
Well,
fall break.
no kidding.
I know, but
He's
with
a
that
lawyer.
said, can you go before we end it? I wanted Brett to come back on and talk about all his specials, and you can stand back here. Can you
Brett's
go?
left.
No, that's Brett right there. Oh, can you go get him for me, and then we'll end it with us, so you can talk about your story.
Here at Warren First, we have ended the show. See ya.
No, go get him. Stop. You don't even know the button. Go. No,
I know the button's right there.
stop. I don't want you to mess with anything, man. Yeah, we're gonna end with you and Walkie. He doesn't. If you write down your specials, he'll like do it. You were gonna get all your specials for the week.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I know those by heart.
Okay. So of course today's specials are. Let's reiterate.
All right, we got the meat and 3 from 11 to 2, and then every day at lunch we do 11 to 2. We do $10 baskets. You get a drink, cheeseburger, chicken tender basket,
Ooh.
or a barbecue sandwich with a side,
Okay.
and it's all $10 as well. Same as the meat and 3 is $10 with a drink.
Okay.
And then tonight is $1 off bottled beer, $8.99 bum burgers, and $8 chicken tender baskets.
And then also tonight is their weekly cornhole game,
Yeah.
right? The drawing, the blind draw.
Yeah, and you don't even have to beat me this week. I won't be here tonight, so everybody's got a chance.
I was gonna say I saw you in one of your posts where you
Yeah.
win, and I'm like, how's that?
No, it wasn't
possible?
because of me. It was the guy I was playing with. There's some really good players.
Oh, I saw a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They're in the whole cornhole gambit.
Yeah.
And then what else is going on specials wise?
See, Tuesdays we do 2 for 1 draft beer
Okay.
and half price appetizers from 4 to close. Wednesday night for the poker night, we do $6.99 one topping pizzas, or you can get a pitcher and one topping pizza for $15.
Okay.
Or 10% off all of our wraps. So if you like the chicken Philly wrap, Philly cheesesteak wrap, they're 10% off on Wednesdays. Thursdays our busiest night. Obviously, we do 80-cent wings, or you can get 10 wings and a domestic pitcher for $15.
Okay.
And that's probably
Watch the game.
That's our best seller, yeah. And then on the weekends, Friday through Sunday for football games and stuff, we do kind of a group deal. We do a bucket of domestic beer or 5 sodas and a pizza and 10 wings for $35.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can feed the whole family for $35.
That's not
Watch
bad.
the game, yeah.
And again, you can get it to go. They cater whatever you need. You can call them out here. And what is the number they can reach you by?
It is 931-507-BUMS, BUMS.
All right.
Or 2867.
And you can also follow them on Facebook.
Facebook, that's the best place to follow us for our daily specials.
For the daily specials. And again, guys, just come on out here. Again, Brett and like everybody I get in touch with, we're very community involved and always, always, always shop local first. And I want to tell Brett, thanks for letting us come out
Yeah, thank
and
you for
take it.
coming.
You know, this
Enjoy
is
it.
not the first time I've been up here. When Charlie and Donna had it, I did karaoke up here.
Oh yeah,
And
we do karaoke on Friday nights too. Yeah, I
do
forgot
you?
about that.
Okay.
Yeah, from 6
Well,
to
I'm
11.
glad I mentioned
Karaoke
that.
from 6 to 11 on Fridays. too.
Okay. Well, wait, Walker, did you hear that? At karaoke on Friday nights. Yeah, we're coming. Sure.
Every Friday.
It's fall break. We got to do something this
Yeah,
week.
got a party.
We got a party. So,
You come
with
out.
that said, you can see all the stuff on Facebook, on the social media, and then we're going to get all the cool information out underneath this video as well. So please like, share, post, do what you got to do.
Yeah. Look forward to having you back sometime soon.
Yeah, we're going to come back. I got to talk to you after the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I already got one coming up that I need to talk about,
Uh-oh.
but not until November.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
That's scary.
You're going to love it. Walker, do you want to say anything or do you want me to just end it? Okay. See, there you go. As always, and I hope you like your little banner. This is the first time I did one of these.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I loved it. But with that said, Warren County, take care, God bless, and remember, keep it